Chair now recognizes Mr. Raskin for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The government distributes $1.2 trillion a year in grants and loans through thousands of different programs that go out to the states and localities and tribal governments. All of us have constituents who benefit from federal grant money going to fire safety, healthcare, domestic violence programs, after-school programs, and so on. Traditionally, it's been very difficult to apply to get this money. The application process has been opaque, elusive, inscrutable, incomprehensible, poorly written, lots of unnecessary administrative burdens, and so on. But earlier this month, you announced significant updates to the OMB's Uniform Grants Guidance process. And we've been getting rave reviews from different parts of the country about this. Tell us, what are the changes that you've made to the Uniform Grants process to make it more transparent and accessible to the mayors and the county commissioners and the people who end up applying for a lot of this money?
Ranking Member Raskin, thank you for the question, and we were appreciative of having a Montgomery County resident speak at our event. OMB doesn't typically hold events when we announce new government-wide policy. We had about 10,000 people join on this event, and we had a packed room, over 150 people in the room, given the broad excitement across every single state. The first thing we did was completely overwrite the grants guidance in plain language. Why does that matter? Agencies were interpreting specific components of it in different ways. So that meant a recipient who had grants from 2 different places was getting 2 sets of requirements from 2 different agencies on the same words. Or agencies were layering on compliance requirements that was discouraging people from ever even applying for federal funds. The second thing is we're using this overhaul to also change our approach to notices of funding opportunities, NOFOs. We're trying to dramatically simplify them. We should give out dollars to the organizations that can best deliver on outcomes, not the organizations that can afford experts who can best fill out the paperwork to apply for those grants.
Is this going to help communities that have been traditionally underserved?
Absolutely.
Why?
We expect it will. We think the simplification of the process will open the door to more organizations. We like to say we want the dollars to focus on outcomes, not overhead. That will bring in more organizations who have traditionally thought that government funding was not an available resource for them. We have tried to make clear requirements from agencies to simplify. And by the way, we did this with the oversight community. So this was done in a way to also strengthen the safeguards we have in place while broadening the pool of potential applicants.
The Schedule F proposal would permit the president to replace career government workers and experts with political loyalists. Can you discuss what the return of Schedule F could do to the civil service and how it would affect the services to our people?
Ranking Member Raskin, thank you. This is an important topic. Again, for well-performing organizations, whether in the private sector or the public sector, the most important thing is its workforce. We have, for 140 years, had an approach focused on experience and expertise, a merit-based system. Schedule F would have undermined that very system. We want to make sure that the people within our agencies bring experience and expertise irrespective of their personal political views or who sits in the White House so that we can deliver. We have leaders in positions that are the decision makers. The workforce is accountable to their managers and to the leaders. The approach that we have taken, the first week the president reversed that through executive order, would strengthen. The return of Schedule F would have a significant chilling effect on our ability to retain and to recruit talent in a broad range of spaces, including critical skill areas the federal government badly needs.
Finally, I'm looking at some data from the Congressional Budget Office, which shows that percentage of employees working who typically work from home is actually higher in the private sector than in the federal government, although they're comparable to each other, something around, it looks like around 20 or 25%, but both have been declining since COVID. Is that right?
I'm not familiar with the specifics. Again, about half of the federal government doesn't even have the opportunity to telework based upon their job requirements. There are some workers who are telework eligible that do not, because it is not in the best interest of their teams and their organizations.
Thank you very much. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.